Good morning. So it is the 28th and it's Thursday. And I'm getting ready to go in for my second rib injection procedure. So this time they are doing double what they injected last time. And I actually know what's going on before it happens. So I just woke up. I'm a little bit nervous because it is still the same procedure, but I got really weird with the anesthesia last time since it was the Twilight Zone one, and they couldn't find my vein, and I'm a little nervous about the pain since it is going to be double, but
whatever it is you may be going through, I know he's not gonna let it get the best of you.
I did get the procedure done. It ended up taking a lot longer than we thought. I was allowed to bring my camera back a little bit more than the first time. For whatever reason, I guess because of the holidays, there was no one in there but me. And last time there was about 8 other people. And then they couldn't find my vein, and that took forever. And then people just randomly started popping up and going back. So I was sitting there for about an hour waiting. So I think what we figured out was because of my Ehlers-Danlos and all of my other conditions, and because I'm more of a risk when I go under, I require a different type of sedation. So I require both the air, which is the mask or the nasal strip, and the IV sedation. So everyone else that was going back before me didn't need the IV, so we're thinking that maybe since mine is a little bit more of a risk, they have to have certain precautions and certain doctors, and it takes a lot more time to plan. So we're not really sure why it took forever this time, but it did. And I did not have the crying spell this time, so that was good. I did go in there a lot more worried than the first time. I'm not sure how normal that is because I haven't really had procedures done since I was a little kid, other than my knee and my elbow, but it wasn't like a common thing. So I'm assuming it's normal. It's just because I kind of knew what was going on. But I was having stomach issues, and my stomach was just not cooperating today, so I did get a significant dose of Zofran, and my anxiety was all over with everything going on, and knowing that it was double, which I think I mentioned this morning. So I'm trying to whip out this video before I am in a significant amount of pain. I already am. I did leave the surgical center in a decent amount of pain, so we're trying to, can't even think of the word, control. We're trying to control that as best as we can right now. I feel like every video my phone goes off, but I can't really help that because I have to wait for doctors still, again. So sorry in advance for that. Yeah, so it is already, unfortunately, painful. I don't know if I hit on this the last video that I recorded. I can't even remember. I think I may have wrote it in the description because I didn't have enough time. But since I have the time now, I will update you. Actually, I may have hit on it, but I'll do it again anyway in case anyone didn't know. I did have this procedure done a little under a month ago, with less medication injected into my back and rib area. Just because it was the first time, they weren't sure how I was going to tolerate it or if it would work. And of course, with everything nowadays, you want to go as little as possible. You don't want to inject more than you need and all of the risks and all of that stuff. So it did work last time, but because it took me 2 days to recuperate from it, and then I forget what else was going on, it only lasted about 4 days at the most. And then I woke up one morning and it was just as bad as I started. So I did see that doctor. We had booked this about 2 weeks ago. And in order to get, I don't even know if I'm going to say this right, I believe it's called a nerve abrasion procedure. In order for insurance to believe that you need it, you need to go through 2 intercostal nerve block procedures that show evidence that it is worth it to pursue a more major, I don't want to say procedure because it's a little bit more in depth once you go into the nerve burning procedure, which is what the abrasion is. But they need that proof because they're not going to pay for it if it's not going to work, and they're not going to put someone through it if it's not going to work. So there's just a lot that goes into that. So I did have to go through this because people are asking, why are you going through this again if I'm turning this off now? Why are you going through this again if it didn't work the first time? So this time around we did double the amount that was injected. It was a lidocaine injected and there was a numbing injection as well as another steroid type of injection because I do have a significant amount of inflammation for whatever reason we can't pinpoint since I am really not active. So we don't know why that's happening. We're not sure if it was a flare from other medical that happened in August or coughing or the pneumonia. We don't know. So we may never know, but it's there and we have to treat it. So we did double the amount, and last time I woke up in the surgical center, I was crying, and I think I did tell you guys that. This time around, I was not crying. Why I was crying the last time, I don't know. I was told it can be just because of sedation. I have never been sedated with the twilight sedation before last time. So they wanted to make sure I was completely out, so that was the best route to go. This time around, I did not have that type of reaction, so thank you for that, because it was not fun, but I did wake up in more pain than I expected, especially since my whole half of my side is numb. I wasn't really aware that I was going to be in this much pain 2 hours after the procedure. So I'm hoping that this is the worst it's going to get. I was told the first time that tomorrow or the day after would be the worst. So if this is what I'm feeling now, I'm really hoping it's not that much worse tomorrow because it's really not comfortable. It hurts to breathe and it's just really, really uncomfortable. But enough with the lung thing. I hope you guys had a really good holiday. Mine was pretty good. I saw my family. I did post some of that on Instagram and Facebook. My blood pressure was all over the place on Christmas. I had a fever. I didn't feel good. I was in a lot of pain. We're not sure if I'm having reactions to meds now or if they're wearing off, or we don't really know. So we're trying to manage that as best as we can right now with all the neck stuff and the blood pressure issues, and we're looking into a second opinion for POTS as well as mast cell activation disorder, which those two can go along with Ehlers-Danlos. So unfortunately, I don't even know how you would call it, the division or the group of doctors that I was seeing was all under one area, because, which I did previously mention, because of the test results that I got and they blew them off, we are now seeking second opinions for every specialist that I was seeing through that area because we're just not really feeling confident in those doctors anymore. They may be great for some people, but because my case is more severe, it's just not something that we are willing to mess around with. They are great doctors, but it's just, again, not something I'm willing to risk because they aren't at that level of expertise. So we have a few appointments booked. I also have a second gastro or second opinion for a gastro, just because I've been having some issues with my previous gastro and trying to get in and not being able to contact them. So there's just a lot of medical going on. I think that's everything I have to update you guys on. I am going to add a little bit. I really couldn't record in there because they're really weird with the confidentiality, which is fine. I don't really need to show you guys the surgical center or any of that. It's no big deal. But I may or not, can't talk right now. I may or may not make a video before New Year's because I don't have much to update you on. I was supposed to do physical therapy 2 to 3 times this week. Because I was in so much pain, I had to cancel 2 of the 3 physical therapy appointments. Just because I'm not really able to manage my pain that well right now. So unfortunately, we're working on all that, but we don't really know what's going on. So with that, I will leave you guys. And if I don't see you before the New Year's, I hope you start your 2018 with a good foot in the door. I'm trying to do the same. And thank you for following me on my fight to freedom.